Hi everyone, it's Andra Annette and CJC Boyd from Real Life of the Entrepreneur. Listen, I'm a hot mess today. I didn't get much sleep, but I work weekends in the community and I look like shit. I was rummaging through my desk. I said, don't I have blush or something that I can put on to look alive? And I was like, but I don't wear it. Sometimes you look like shit, but you got to show up anyway. It's all about showing up.
Agreed.
So CJ and I were talking, we're always into all these things that are happening, we meet different people in our journey and some good, some not so good, we meet some people that inspire us to be different and some people that we inspire to be more like. So that's kind of where I am at that place. I've been involved in a lot of groups of women who supposedly support women, and turns out doesn't really work that way. And um, I want to be different, so I'm heading down that path. And so I want to speak about other people that really don't get that light. People don't hear about them. There's so many amazing people in this world today. And if you turn on any channel of any TV, you'll see that they're only talking about the bad shit that's going on in this world. And,
Mhm.
and I think that people really need to hear some good, some hope, some inspiration, you know? So I want to shine a light on those people. And I think that you're going to be a big part of this journey with me, young lady.
Yes.
So I just think that I think we're both from that heart centered person. I think Leslie Gaudet is also that kind of person, and I think that we'd be a nice mix of because we're a lot alike, but we have our differences, which make us equally as good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, like it kind of levels us off, you're like, and sometimes I'm like, don't you dare. So and then we know when to put up those boundaries and stuff like that. And I think that's a nice mix. But I think there's just so many people out there that want to be heard,
Yeah.
you know so I was sharing with you that I put something in a Facebook post about anybody interested in a podcast, and I had 300 and something responses, and they're still at it. I can't get to all of them. And
That's
now they're
awesome.
coming back telling me my calendar's full. And I'm like, well, what did you expect?
Right.
Sorry, I'm only one person. So but that just tells me how many people are doing, and I've been hearing some great stories, fathers and sons who have mental health issues, and they're doing a podcast. Another guy who's a recovering addict and found God, and he's doing this whole comedy thing, and he's really funny. It's like a story of his life, and he sent me some of his films, and he's trying to get that syndicated or and he's getting all these donations because people want to keep seeing him. But it's really
That's
great
awesome.
stuff. People that have cured themselves from cancer. People told them that they were going to die, and they said, "Oh no, I'm not, and I'm going to start eating right." And I know it's late, but it's never too late to get started. And they did it, and they're around to talk about it. People that are helping people become better parents, and Lord knows we could use some help in the light of things that are happening around the world. So, what do you feel about that?
I think shining the light, I put up a post earlier today, is like be the beacon of hope. Nobody knows who you truly are, what you have to share, what your gifts are, unless you show up and shine. And I think shining the spotlight on people who truly, number one, if they don't know the platforms, they don't know how to get their voice and their message out, that's going to be really instrumental in sharing that with other. And like you said, I mean, anywhere that you look, it's all about the negativity. It's all about fear mongering, telling the crappy stories. That kind of stuff sells because it gets people like looking, and then it I think a lot of people use that as a polarization tool to get people's attention, but in
Mm.
reality, we need to shine the light. And we're the only ones who can change this world. We are the only ones who can shine hope into the world by spotlighting other people's hope and other people's journeys and supporting that to happen. And I think it's so important to truly come home to who we are and remember why we're here in the first place. I mean, I didn't come into the online space and be an entrepreneur so I could be somebody else's puppet and just, spew somebody else's stuff. I want to have my own voice. And I think it's very important for us to share that voice with as many people that we can be the voice until they find their own. And I think that's really important.
I think it's great to be able to support people too, but there's so many people that have gone before us. So we're doing another show and we're going to be talking about those type people. And I don't understand why people are always trying to reinvent the wheel. Like people are talking about mindset and they're not coming up with this stuff on their own. They're going back to Freud and all the great leaders, you know. They're talking about concepts in psychology and neuroscience. This is not stuff they're making up. This is 35 years ago that they're just saying, "Hey, there's a truth to this." So
Mhm.
when you look at people like Tony Robbins and Mel Robbins and even Oprah Winfrey. I mean, look at what she created for herself, okay? You would I mean, billionaire, right? And her
Mhm.
story is all about giving back and letting other people share that light with her. It wasn't about her. It was about
Yeah.
shining that light. And then she went on and she just kept building and helping more, right? So, but if you look at what they do, they come together and share each other's stories and use each other's platforms and they grow together because it's not about them. It's not about petty. It's really
Yeah.
is about supporting each other. This is what you're doing. Okay, let me see if I can help.
And that's what sets people apart from the genuine people who really want to support and help and spotlight other people. That sets you apart from the people who give lip service to, oh, I'm here to help you, I'm here to support you, when in reality you can feel that vibe a mile away. You know that that's not what they're out to do, and there's already enough of those people. So I think we just need to be the pioneers in the field that are really saying, let's help you show your story. Because how many billion people are there in the world? If you're so afraid of somebody else taking your person, your client, your interview, whatever, I mean, there's something wrong up here in your mindset and your heart's not in the right place. Because I mean, there's billions of people in the world. What in God's creation makes you think that there's not enough for you, that you have to take something from somebody else, or you have to belittle somebody else to make yourself look better? That's what's wrong with the world. We need to be the way showers and make the world a different place. Because if it were me, I have 7 kids. If it were me and it was just like, I'm talking to my husband, oh, if let's have children, I'd be like, no way in hell would I bring a child into this earth right now. And so I want to make a good space for my grandkids to live and breathe and be have them carry on the generation of, hey, we really give a shit, we really want to support, we really want to up level everybody. It's not about just me making my own way. It's like, hey, come on, come with me, and really being genuine from the heart and really truly meaning that and being in integrity with that.
Yeah, people ask me what this was all about, like what I'm trying to create with this show. And when I told them, they were like, wow, that's really something. Okay.
You know
So
why? Because everybody's like, oh, wait, there's got to be an ulterior motive. There's got to be something, some reason why she's doing this, that it can't be good, because people are not used to that anymore.
well, I mean, I have a space, right? When I came online, I didn't really know who to trust, to be honest. And it's several years later, and I find myself still in the same place. I really don't know who to trust, right? Because, people that I thought were there to support me really turns out not to be. But I found a few really genuine people, and they've been consistent with me. So now I know that's my trust. That's my hands, right?
Yes. Yes.
So, um, I understand what that's like. And I wasn't a big speaker. Some people are just really good speakers and eloquent. I can get up and talk hours to a bunch of nurses or doctors on health because that's what I do every day. But as
Right.
soon as I went online, all of a sudden my tongue got twisted. I can't tell you my first video, I recorded it, went live and took it down. Recorded it, went live and took it down. And they must have said, what's this girl? Who's she? Oops, she's gone. Oops, she's gone. It's like because I was really in that mindset of like, these people are gonna think I'm nuts. And then when I stopped caring and I said, listen, I have something to say, who the hell cares? It became easier. But that's
Yeah.
kind of how I started like interviewing other people, and I just found so much joy in it because I
Yeah.
found out that, like, yes, we all have our differences, but we're so much more alike than we realize until we start having those connections and those conversations and really talking about what our dreams are. Most people have the same dream. They
Right.
want more happiness, more joy, right? They want to be able to travel, have good things for their family. Nobody wants to struggle, you know. If
Yeah.
you ask somebody if they wanted to eat cat food during retirement, they'd absolutely say no, right? So,
Right.
everybody wants better. It's just about really letting them know they can have that,
Yeah,
So
agreed. And I think too, it's people want to be included. People want to feel held. People want to feel like there's a space for them to be just be themselves. And that's what this is all about, is just being yourself. And like you said, I find myself sometimes doing videos and I'll be like, "Ugh," and I'll like delete it. And it's like, these are the blooper reels. But this is who I am at the core level. It's like I'm a goofy fuck. And that's who I am. And I think that when we try to tamper that down, we're not really who we are. And then we can't really help the people that need to be able to see who we truly are and that it's okay to be themselves.
Listen, so many times I'll do, they have those captions in the video, and the caption will say something totally different than I said. And I'm like, did I say that? I didn't say that. And I just, I'm at the point where I just leave it. But even in my stories a lot, I don't talk a lot in my stories because I do work 7 days a week, right? And I know, like, when I do post a picture of me or something I'm saying, so much more people show up. And
Yeah.
it's not that I don't want to be there, but I can't post the stuff I'm doing. That's privacy and HIPAA and all that stuff.
Right.
And even the weekends, like, I give back on the weekends. But if I'm making that public, like showing that off, to me, that kind of takes away from what I'm doing. Does
Yeah,
that make sense?
it makes total sense. I think, a lot of times I get frustrated with people. It's like they share every moment of their life. Like you're building your brand, your lifestyle. You're supposed to show everything. Come on, let's be real. A lot of people don't want to hear that you went to the toilet or that you stubbed your toe. It's. I think people get too engrossed in like 24/7. Everybody needs to be in your business because that's how people are going to get to know you. There's got to be a fine line where it's like, here's who I am, here's what I have to offer, here are my gifts, but here's where I like my personal space and my downtime too, and just be that. I don't want to say
That
balance because I don't
balance.
think, but I think just knowing when to say, okay, I'm pulling back a little bit. I just need, an hour to myself, but I don't need to document it. Everybody doesn't need to know that. It's okay because people don't need to know your 24/7 business.
But on a bright note, I did stub my toe, and it was all my it was all my fault because I have this mirror that's one of those full length mirrors. It really belongs on the door, and I just haven't gotten around to it. The other one broke, and I bought it. And every night I walk out of my bedroom, and my two little toes get stuck around that mirror, and I have the worst bones. Like, I can't even tell you how many times I broke my toe just hitting it. And
Yeah.
it's all black and blue. So be careful with those toes. They mean something. But I wouldn't show that on Facebook. Anybody looked at my feet, they would say, "Oh my God, girl, walk on your hands." So that's that. But I think what we're doing is really good. I'm excited for what's next. My message to people today is really don't set any limits for yourself, and don't be afraid to be you. And there really is no competition out there. Everybody says the market is flooded. I don't think it's flooded. Maybe you haven't dialed in your message yet. I'm ridiculous for that. People want me to niche down. I refuse because I know the whole body. I refuse to dumb myself down for the market. It's just not who I am. So it might take me longer to find all my perfect people, but I know that they're waiting for me because
Exactly.
they're not getting the right help, right? But and I'm just being a wise ass. But what what I what I think is that it's not saturated. I think there's so many people out there that need help, that need guidance, and to just keep being you, and you'll connect to your audience, to your people. You'll find what lights you up, you know?
Yeah, and I think when people get into that mindset of the market is saturated, that's because you're trying to be just like everybody else. When you find your little thing that sets you apart, that is your quirk, that's your irk, that's your little thing inside that is like, yeah, that's kind of edgy. That's what people need. That's what people want to see. So the only way that it's going to be saturated is if you're just like everybody else, copy and paste, cookie cutter version. That's when the market's saturated, not when you're genuinely your true authentic self.
And even if you're in the same market as a million people, the way you describe it and the way you understand it is different because we're all
Yep.
different learners, right?
Yep.
So some of us are visual, some of us are auditory. So how we explain it to other people, especially if people are auditory and we're never online talking, right? They've lost our message altogether, right? Because they're those, and then you have those visual people that never see you either, and you're selling audio, right? So there's
Yes.
always a nice mix out there of people just waiting for you to show up, and don't give up. If this is something you really want to do, you're worth it. Keep going, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, the only thing that stops you is you not showing up for yourself. If you get into that mindset where you're afraid to, what other people are going to think or how other people are going to react, then your dream is really not that big and you really don't want it bad enough, because the only way you're not going to get that is if you tell yourself that you can't show up and truly be who you are. And I think the thing that really resonates with me is coming back to, I was created on purpose, exactly how I am. I don't need to change to be something else, because my gift, my value is in who I am as a soul person at my cellular level. I was created that way for a reason. So
I
why
love
would I
that.
want to go and change that and try to be something else? Because he knew better that I was needed exactly as I am. So when I try and I get in that mindset of like, oh crap, people are watching me, what are people going to think? That it's like, I meant to be seen exactly as I am.
It's going to help somebody, and you're spot on point with that. So we're going to close with that note. I want everybody to have a great day. I want to thank you so much for tuning in and watching, and we have so much more coming your way. So stay tuned. Have a great day.